Don't go from 10.2 straight down to 9.75 within the span of like 3 years. Like, you telling me out of nowhere this dude was just eating oatmeal and praying to God, and somehow, some way, he started running 9.8. And then the Jamaican fans kill me, bruh. I ain't never seen him run a 200. I ain't never seen him run a 400. Hell, I never seen him go past 200 meters in practice.
In terms of what's going to stop me, I'm the only one that can stop me. I don't say that to brag.
So you want me to believe this dude right here, out of nowhere, in 2-3 years, he drops down to 9.7. And every world championship he gets to, when it comes down to it, he doesn't win it. He's either second or second.
It started with one viral clip that sent shockwaves through the entire track and field world. A man sitting behind a mic compared the rise of Jamaica's newest sprint sensation, Kishane Thompson, to LeBron James's level of dominance, but not in admiration. His tone was dripping with sarcasm and disbelief, calling Thompson's sudden drop from 10.2 seconds to 9.75 in just 3 years unbelievable and too good to be true. He mocked the idea that someone could simply eat oatmeal, pray, and suddenly become one of the fastest men alive. He questioned how someone could transform so drastically in such a short span without anything extra. And when he threw in that he'd never seen Kishane run a 200 or a 400, insinuating that the sprinter's talent was somehow manufactured, it lit a fire online. Within hours, the video exploded across social media. Fans furious, athletes silent, and the world divided. Was this jealousy disguised as analysis? Or did he truly believe something shady was going on? One thing was clear. His words weren't just opinions, they were accusations. And they cut deep into Jamaica's proud track legacy. But as the video spread like wildfire, the story behind the rant would prove far more complex than anyone expected. The video wasn't just a few harsh words. It was a full-on tirade. The man laughed at Jamaican fans, called them delusional, and accused them of ignoring the truth. He claimed he'd never seen Kishane Thompson run longer distances in training, as if that somehow proved anything. Then came the comparison, the jab that stung the most, calling Kishane Kung Fu Silver Server Kenny, mocking his near misses at championships, implying he'd never been able to win clean when it mattered most. The disrespect was blatant. Clips of his outburst started circulating on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, where Jamaican supporters quickly turned outrage into a movement. They demanded respect for their athletes and blasted the man for pushing baseless allegations. Within a day, the clip was everywhere. News outlets picking it up, track podcasts debating it, and fans dissecting every word. But as much as people wanted to dismiss it as just another bitter rant, others couldn't help but notice a pattern. A deeper bias in the way Jamaican success stories are always treated with suspicion. This wasn't the first time a Jamaican star had been targeted, and sadly, it wouldn't be the last. Because when a small island produces world beaters, there's always someone waiting to cry foul. And that's exactly where the controversy turned next. Every few years it happens again. A Jamaican sprinter dominates the world stage, and suddenly whispers of enhancements start circulating. It happened to Asafa Powell. It happened to Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. Even the legendary Usain Bolt wasn't immune. People questioned his lightning-fast records, his stride, his dominance, as if hard work couldn't exist outside major Western programs. This latest accusation against Kishane Thompson felt like a recycled script. The same tired narrative, that Jamaicans can't be that good naturally. It's a quiet form of disrespect that hides behind analysis and concern. But here's the truth. Jamaica's track and field program has been one of the most tested, scrutinized, and cleanest in the world for decades. The athletes train under strict regulations, constant testing, and relentless media pressure. Yet, no matter how clean their records are, some people still look for something sinister. It's the same double standard that haunts every generation of Jamaican greatness. Because while other nations are praised for innovation, Jamaicans are accused of miracles. And that unspoken bias is exactly why Kishane's rise triggered such skepticism. He didn't just run fast, he challenged what people thought was possible. And for some, that was too much to handle. Now let's talk facts. Kishane Thompson's journey from 10.2 to 9.75 wasn't magic. It was methodical. Every season, his times dropped steadily as his training matured, his strength improved, and his technique sharpened under top-tier coaches. His consistency is what makes his rise legitimate. There's a documented trail, race after race, measurable progression, all verified and transparent. He trains in one of the strictest anti-doping systems on the planet, subject to random testing and constant monitoring. His data doesn't show sudden, unexplained jumps, It shows a steady climb fueled by discipline, recovery, and precision. People forget that Bolt himself was clocking 10.03 as a teenager and broke 9.69 just a few years later. Sprinting breakthroughs often come from perfecting form, mental focus, and explosive starts, things Kishane mastered through obsessive work. Yet, despite all evidence, the same critics still scream impossible. But the real impossibility is denying what's in front of us. A generational athlete whose numbers back his greatness. And if the numbers prove he's clean, then maybe the problem isn't Kishane's speed. Maybe it's the world's disbelief that another Jamaican could rewrite history. The backlash in Jamaica was immediate and fierce. From casual fans to decorated legends, everyone had something to say. They rallied behind Kishane Thompson, calling the accusation nothing but jealousy dressed up as analysis. On talk shows, radio segments, and YouTube channels, Jamaicans reminded the world that their country's sprint factory is built on discipline, not deception. They pointed out how every athlete, from high school champs to world record holders, goes through intense scrutiny before even touching an international track. The outrage wasn't just about defending Kishane. It was about defending the island's legacy. Jamaica's pride runs deep, and every accusation feels like an attack on their entire athletic culture. Even coaches spoke out, saying people overseas will never understand what grind means in Jamaican terms. Meanwhile, the accused man's video kept trending, his comments dissected frame by frame, and hashtags like #respect. Jamaican athletes flooded social media. Yet through all the noise, one person stayed silent, Kishane Thompson himself. He didn't issue a statement, he didn't post a reply, he simply went back to training. And that silence spoke louder than any rant could ever hope to. But this story isn't just about Kishane. It's about a sport haunted by its own history. Track and field has seen its fair share of scandals, and because of that, every breakthrough is met with suspicion. Yet the irony is painful. Countries with multiple confirmed doping cases rarely get the same scrutiny as Jamaica, a nation that's produced clean champions for decades. There's a pattern. When athletes from big nations improve, it's called progress. When Jamaicans do it, it's called impossible. It's a mindset rooted in disbelief, maybe even fear. Fear that the world's fastest humans might not come from multi-million-dollar training centers, but from a small island fueled by raw talent, determination, and culture. The bigger issue is that these accusations damage the sport itself. They make every record feel suspect, every victory questioned. And that's why this conversation matters. Because if the track world keeps doubting clean athletes, it risks destroying the very magic that makes sports worth watching. And that brings us to the truth most people don't want to admit. Sometimes greatness doesn't fit into anyone's comfort zone. So here's the reality. Every generation produces one athlete so extraordinary that people call it unnatural. For this era, that name is Kishane Thompson. He's redefining what speed looks like, forcing the world to reconsider its limits. Whether people love him or doubt him, his times speak louder than any insult. And maybe that's why the accusations sting, because they reveal more about the doubters than the athlete himself. Jamaica's legacy isn't built on luck or shortcuts. It's built on an island-wide obsession with excellence. From barefoot sprinters in rural schools to Olympic legends, it's a story of culture, not chemistry. And as for Kishane, his silence, his consistency, and his brilliance have already answered every question anyone could ask. Because at the end of the day, the clock doesn't care about rumors. It only knows truth. And the truth is this: sometimes the miracle everyone doubts is just pure, undeniable Jamaican speed.